Hey guys, I'm going to do another video here, and I'm going to show you just my setup real quick. I put Guardian in for this first hole. I'm going to attempt to do a backspin shot off the fairway for my second shot in this tournament. So let's see if we can get an opponent here. I'm going to try to record my round, at least half of it. We'll see. I'm going to try to keep the commentary a little bit halved, just so I can try to concentrate on what I'm doing and not run out of time. But so one of the things that I'd probably recommend for this first hole is trying out this Guardian shot. I'm going to use a mummy ball to resist the wind as much as possible, but still give me that power that I need. One of the things that I do with this tee shot see, I haven't even used one of these yet. It's going to be kind of first go here. I want to make sure that I don't spin too much here either. So I can tell that's probably fine. And I'm going to play probably like 4-ish rings. Plus I'm going to favor left, if you notice. Like I'm putting just a little extra curl on it too. You want to avoid the right side here. So it's going to, you see that fairway, it basically just bounces you right no matter what. So you see all that, spin, that plus on top of that extra. See what he's doing here, a lot of bars. So as much left as you can get it, definitely the better. You see, I didn't get like super aggressive with my curl, but you definitely want to favor. You just don't want to hit it there. You want to make sure you still hit the fairway. So one of the things that I was going to try here, and it looks like I can just get it up on the cliff here. So make sure that with your aim here, you have it still up on the cliff. So I'm going to play it right here. Make sure you don't short hit it. Because what I'm finding is if you aim short, it goes short. If you aim down that cliff, it's not going to climb up that hill. So what's happening is you're pointing the arrow at like a lower elevation. So it's flattening out your shot arrow, and then it won't play downwind. So you want to really be careful not to put it on that cliff there. Because the lower your shot arrow starts going, the more that it doesn't want to play. And the reason that I put mummy on here was for that shot, to make sure that this stops. So you see, I was able to stop it because I can't really go any shorter than that, like I was mentioning. As soon as you start putting it down that cliff, your trajectory starts changing, and then it doesn't want to play downwind. You're seeing a ton of guys hit it in the rocks here because they'll try to, compensate for that wind. There's a glitch in their software that doesn't allow you to hit a realistic shot to where you could aim on that cliff and the trajectory still goes like normal, what it's doing is it's making the ball go flatter and lower because you're pointing at a lower elevation. And then that wind will just not even play, basically, because your shot line will be too flat and it'll just go. Okay, so we got the chest there. We got the eagle. That's important. You want to make sure that you get that eagle there. One of the things that I like to do after doing that is switch back out my Guardian just to make sure I don't forget. I don't need it for the next hole. I'm gonna put Sniper. I've been playing Sniper for this tournament, so I'm probably just gonna stick with it. For the most part, I use it universally through this tournament. I haven't really been adjusting my clubs aside for what I just did there. That's my one major adjustment. Some of the guys are trying to hit trying to think of what else I've seen for some of the holes here. For the most part, I'm seeing kind of my setup. You're seeing Saturn because it has good ball trail. So you can use a mummy here. I'm probably going to save mine. I think there's more important things that you can use mummy for. We'll see how he does, though. I mean, if his shot goes in, I'm going to say it's like, even with mummy, still it's hard to get this one online. So, I mean, you can do it. You just got to be super precise. I usually use a navigator, so I'm probably going to stick with navigator. I'm trying to think if I usually right spin it or left. So I don't usually take notes. I usually just kind of remember what I do. I think I usually play like this. You can see I'm right towards the top end of navigator, and I usually play this about maybe 7 rings for a 9 wind. And then I'm going to have to counter slight. Let's see. Might not have needed the counter with that. Again, this is a really, really hard hole to hold your line. So it's hard to say specifically you should do this on that hole. And maybe on next time through I'll just use Kingsmaker just to resist a little bit more wind. Because it plays really like down the slope and up in the air, because I usually end up going like I mentioned, for a 9-something wind. I'll play almost 7 rings. And it's kind of spot on power-wise. On my very first round of qualification, I got that hole. It's the only time that I've gotten it. This one is kind of my preferred hole. I like this one a little bit more. This is very similar wind to what you get on the tournament. Sometimes it's just a little bit more left pointing. But this is a very similar wind to what you'll see. And for a wind like this, I'll do 3-ish bars. You'll see on the tournament, but for a wind like this, I'll do like Doesn't play nearly as downhill. I'll just do like 5 rings here. Making sure I don't add any extra power on this. Okay. I would have been pissed if I got that because it wouldn't have counted. So I'd rather not make it, to be honest with you. That's been my typical miss, even on the tournament, is I'll roll it like that. So I don't know if I'm going to try to counter it. I think I'm just going to add I don't know. We'll see. It's been my typical miss. I might just counter it just slightly on the tournament because I've played this a bunch of times, and I like that this wind was very similar to what it's been playing on the tournament. But my typical, and you see he really got it over that hill nice and coming in slow. It's one of the closer shots that I've seen. Plus having the mummy helped. So when I play this on the tournament, I don't know, I might even break out an eyeball on that, to be honest with you. Because I really want that hole. It'll really project my score up there if I can get it. So it's between probably eyeball or kingmaker. I'm going to try to save my mummies because of how much power they have. So in par 3s, I'm trying to avoid using power balls, especially where you don't need them. Like that hole, you do not need power. All you need is precision. As you see, if you can restrict that wind down, you put it dangerously on the pin. Almost every time I play that on rookie, it goes in. So this hole I've been getting every time I play it, there's usually 2 different winds. So I don't know which one they're going to give me. It looks like they're giving me the one that is more pointed down towards the hole. So there's another wind that the other guy usually is a little bit more slightly side wind. So the way I've been doing this one is I've been using, I don't know, it's not pointing quite as much. I'm going to hit the shot that I've been doing because I feel, I don't know, I feel kind of confident with it right now. So I'm going to use my Berserker, and I'm going to play at least 7-ish rings. I'm going to counter it, and I'm only going to go into the orange here. Still a little too much. So hopefully it holds though. There it is. It hits the fringe. Still a little too much. And again, it's probably because I had more of the downwind. So when I hit this, so look at his wind. His is, especially as soon as you start to point it more to the right, it really straightens out. But there's been a time where they've given it, see, as you can see right now, as soon as he starts turning the screen, it's almost a side wind. So this is the wind that I'll definitely use Berserker. And probably the exact same power that I would have hit would have almost been perfect. It looks like you're almost seeing an optical illusion that it's like really downwind just because of the way that he has the camera positioned here. I mean, it still is downwind, don't get me wrong, but it's just not down very much. So I haven't been here yet. I don't expect this wind to play very much anyway. I'm going to put it outside the cup and that's it. Just barely. And you see, that's how you get this hole. Get up there close. This pitch is a little bit more glitchy, but I've seen guys make it. That doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to win. I'm not really trying to beat guys. It's so funny, you see all these guys complaining about, good players being in their tour, playing pro, and it's a huge argument right now. But it's funny that they're complaining because if a better player, like somebody who's in Master Division, comes down to their league and can make that shot, every time, it basically, makes it so the worst you can get is birdie, which is really, helping your score. Because I've seen guys hit it in the water here or not play that wind enough and then it goes OB. So it's nice to have, I am usually more grateful when I have the better players in my match here, because they might get the albatross somewhere. They might albatross 5. I'm going to try to albatross 5 too, but it's nice to welcome better opponents into your matches. So now we get to the downhill par 4 that I was mentioning. I'm going to split this video up, actually. I'm going to just back out. I'll still show this hole, but I'm going to split it into separate videos.